So removing and fitting high-top on a VWT4. Now I've already removed this from another van, but I've not fitted it yet. Now all I used was a vibrating cutting tool, sort of thing you use for cutting holes in plasterboard. Basically a multi-tool, and just put a cutting blade underneath there. And literally took me 10 minutes, and you just cut through the sealant that goes all the way around, and the same on the back here. You just cut through it. Now you can lift the roof and glue it down that way, or you can do it from the inside, which is the way I'm hoping to do it, rather than have to lift it. As for inside, as you see, I haven't done my conversion yet. You follow, you've got a beam this side, you've got a beam in the middle, and you've got a beam at the end. Now your middle beam is going to have to be cut out, and just cut all the way around the edge. Now you can do this from outside, but you're going to have to be careful because you've got your wire loom going through this side, and this goes through to your light. You can just unplug that and push it out of that location there. And I presume this is a rear wiper washer, which I didn't actually know I had on this van, so yeah, I'm gonna have to do some investigating on that. So yeah, so you got to be careful of these. I'm cutting it with an angle grinder because I'm doing it from the inside, and then the corners I'm just going to cut it with electric blade, and just to join it up. Obviously if you're doing this from the inside, you want to get some pieces of wood from the floor to this when you get close to your last bit, so it doesn't drop down on your head. So yeah, so that's where I'm at the minute, and I'll come back when I've cut this piece out. Alright, so we've got the hole cut out, and I've used the angle grinder from probably about this point all the way down to that point, leaving a couple of inches on each side. Same on each one, apart from this, from the two outer sides of the van where I've gone right to the end. You've got to be really careful of these cables here. These are just two. I'm reversing camera, so you wouldn't have them ones on yours, but you will have these ones. And the same here. As I say, on these bits here, I've cut down to there, and then I've got just a jigsaw, cheap old nasty jigsaw with a metal blade on it. I've used the Bosch blade, but it doesn't really matter as long as it's reasonable quality. And I've cut the last bit off here, gone up as close as I dare to go to the pipe there, and I've switched round to come back on this side of it and cut off the last bit there, leaving all the corners. I had my partner's help just hold it in place until I cut it. So that's where we are, and my plan, as I say, was to glue it from the inside, which is what I'm going to do. I've got to clean off all this muck here, this old glue, so it's going to have to come off temporarily to get this off. But you can glue this straight from the inside. So if you want your fancy bit of beading around the edging, you can have that. You can have that any colour you want. You can order it off eBay. It's a U-shaped trim, I think it's called. You can have that. So pop that on first, and then simply silicone all the way around the edge. You don't need an awful lot. You'd be surprised how strong it is. Sikaflex is one you can use. I mean, different people say different things. That's always worked for me. So yeah, I will update you when I've glued this in.